Hey, welcome back to Evil's Comics. I'm Evil Mike, or Mike if you prefer, and I got a review for you today. From AWA, we're going to be talking about Rumpas Room, issue number 1. It is written by Mark Russell, art by Ramon Rosanas, colors by Ive Svorcina, and then letters by AndWorld Design. I'm sorry if I mispronounced any of those names. It's no form of disrespect, just trying to pronounce them as I'm reading them. Before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe on this guy's channel. It does help. Hit the bell. You never know when I'm going to be dropping reviews. So let's get into it. Rumpas Room. There's not a lot I can say into this. The story was pretty like cut and dry, plain, simple, I guess you can say. It's not bad, but at the same time, it's nothing new. The art was pretty, I want to say it was better than okay. The art was actually really good. It basically starts out and we're at a billionaire's house. All of a sudden he gets a knock at the door. The billionaire is Mr. Shrunk, and the knock at the door is Erica Hernandez. She is looking for her missing sister Olivia, who used to work for Mr. Shrunk and his company. She was an accountant, but so much that the billionaire doesn't remember, the sister or anything like that. Says he's fired accountants all the time, kind of thing. He happens to mention that he fired like 12 different accountants that day. As they're discussing this, he ends up giving her some coffee. There's kind of this joke about it being poison. He's like, how many billionaires do you know going around poison coffee, that kind of thing. Nothing comes out of it. She kind of mentions at the very end of it, because he's not very helpful, but at the same time he's probably honestly answering all her questions. But she's, because she's like, hey, did you know my sister? And he's like, no, I have like millions of people that work for me, kind of thing. Basically she states that if he doesn't get help out, that he's going to get the police involved. He kind of mentions that, hey, guess what, the police work for me, kind of thing. So I mean, I'd go in there and do the interview and everything, but it's just going to cost me money, kind of thing. And the world, because supposedly every minute he spends talking to this girl, it costs the world's global economy in dollars on dollars or whatever. Lo and behold, after the whole cop scenario thing, she starts to get all druggy, and sure enough, as shown here, he didn't poison her, he just drugged the air, stating that he has some kind of, he's the only one immune to this certain toxin, so it's like the perfect at-home defense kind of thing. Instantly he puts on these glasses. These guys show up in these furry costumes. They drag her away, and we kind of get to the main part of the story. We see a little more of his mansion, some weird art he's got outside. But at this point those two guards drag her down. They throw her in this like caged area, which we learn is the Rumpas Room. As soon as she gets thrown in here, there are other people in the Rumpas Room, and they instantly take a vote. We don't know what the vote is, but we kind of find out, and maybe not exactly, I don't know. This girl kind of goes against the whole vote, and she ends up getting thrown into a cage. When they throw her into the cage, she ends up getting dragged away by those two guards or whatever. We find out shortly what happens to her. She gets dragged off to, it looks like the office where that main guy is, and she's sat into a chair. All of a sudden the chair grows these spikes, and sure enough the thing closes on her, presuming kills the heck out of her. It shows like her last image, just kind of thing. But that looks like what the vote was. The vote looks like, I guess, whenever they bring a new person in, they have to vote for somebody to die or something like that. There is conversation about, like, that the Rumpas Room has been going on for a while, and they've tried all kind of things, like rushing the guards, but they've tried everything to escape, kind of thing. We learn very quickly that this Olivia girl had something up her sleeve as well. Maybe that the billionaire should have done his research, but it turns out that the girl, not Olivia, Erica, it turns out to be a cop, and she has a gun that's hidden in her, ankle holster. The rest of the group kind of state that this is something new, that a cop has never been abducted or never been thrown down here into the Rumpas Room. and that's kind of like the new hitch in the play or whatever. But that's where this issue leaves off. That's pretty much it. There's an article about from Mark Russell about how he came up with, you know, his whole kind of based off The Great Escape, the movie or the book, you know, per se. But that kind of what it's gonna be about. You know, some people get kidnapped and eventually they have to escape. The cop with the gun might, you know, help. There's not a lot I can say about this book. It was great on the art aspect. The story, like I said, was kind of plain and simple. There wasn't a lot into it. Am I going to continue on with it? Probably not. I'm more into comics for the realm of, like, you know, super fantasy and stuff. And yes, this is fantasy, but at the same time, it's pretty close to real life kind of thing. I know the whole billionaire thing and what billionaires can do to people. Billionaires can do whatever they want. They got all that money. Like, I don't even think they need to kidnap anybody. I think that's probably the funniest part of this book is you wouldn't have to kidnap nobody. You just pay some people and they go kidnap them for you. Come on, you're a billionaire. Billionaire on billionaire. I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, it was okay for a read, but I'm not going to continue it. It wasn't for me. But that's my review. Let me know down below what you thought of Rumpus Room. Maybe it was, you know, right up your alley. I don't know. It had Purge feelings, you know, minus the whole horror aspect. But, you know, maybe if they added the horror aspect, I was kind of more into the whole furry guys. That's all I got for you guys. That's all I got. Bye.